I'll start with talking about the word Aya, which is the Adinkra symbol for the fern. And the fern was chosen to represent Aya because it's a hardy and resilient plant. So that leads into talking about the goals of Aya. One of the things that we're celebrating is the resilience of women of color, which is something we're forced to do a lot of the time, to be resilient. We overlap experiences, we can kind of understand what being at this university is like for each other. That's the kind of community, the kind of support that we want to provide for women of color here and anybody who feels affiliated with the group Women of Color. We do events, we have regular programming, discussion groups that are meant for us to just be able to be together without having to worry about some of the other things going on in our lives as college students.
Aya supports the retention of students and improves campus climate through essentially what our mission does in helping to build that community and foster that interconnectedness between women of color on campus, our allies, and in general, everybody on campus. We want to foster spaces of growth, of learning, and especially healing with the times that we've had and even just the last decade, last few years. And a lot of this is accomplished through the partnerships we're able to have. So specifically, more recent partnerships we've had are with the Seoul Multicultural Network and the HSRC, or the Human Services and Resource Center, in which we're able to help bring awareness to things like food insecurity, how queer women of color are affected, and just being able to provide those resources and support for students on campus.
As a woman of color myself, I know that it can get really draining, a lot of pressure externally from society and just people around you. So I would say that my biggest piece of advice is to find a mentor, find people you feel a sense of belonging with. That way you can ensure that your voice is heard and just be more comfortable with your surroundings. And then also one of my advice to you guys is knowing your worth and that you are valued and you have a wonderful voice and you don't have to hide or disguise yourself with anything. You are loved and there's no need to suppress your emotions, suppress yourself for anyone. So another piece of advice is that just speak your mind, speak your voice. Again, you are validated, your feelings are validated, and your emotions are valid, and they have a place in this world.
Personally, to me, Aya means a person who has gone through something already, going through OSU as a whole and not conquering it, so to say, but seeing the issues that are presented to women of color and presenting solutions or resources to the next person. I like to think about it as like being a part of the Aya team, being like an older sister to the other girls on campus or the other women on campus. I haven't been at OSU for a whole year. I think this is my first year. I've been here for like 8 months, but I already knew that it was going to be the easiest thing in the world because nothing's easy for women of color. Seeing what we needed and seeing like the resources that I can find with working at the Hattie Redmond and then just being on campus and finding other things, I like to present the stuff to the other girls on campus and being like, hey, like once you figure out that this doesn't work or you need help here, I have this resource for you, or here's this person that can help you with this, and just being that person to personally help the others and knowing that they have that connection, that I went through the same thing or something at least incredibly similar because I'm on the same campus and the same profile kind of with them as well. Like of it thinking like going through a winter and you make a sweater for somebody else because you know that that winter is hard.